will always be able to make money if your brand is strong. A lot of you will block your own success. What do I worry about? I worry about brand control. My brand is huge now, right? And one thing I fight with every day, I want to make sure I don't dilute the brand. I don't do anything, make any major mistakes, because any mistake will hurt your brand. And so those are the things that keep me up at night, just making sure my brand remains strong. And so that's a good message for all these young men and women watching your show, is make sure that your brand is everything. And you will always be able to make money if your brand is strong. When I did my research and starting a business, the most important thing you have to do, and a lot of you in here someday want to be like Larry and like Mr. Brent, is that you have to first stop being fearful. A lot of you will block your own success because you're fearful of what's going to happen, because the comfort zone is here. Make a great living, my bills are paid, everything is great. Oh, I'm scared to change. So you block your own growth. Just like me in my business, I know my demos. I know I had a niche because nobody was invested in urban America. So it gave me an opportunity to take advantage and really have competitors. Because you have to understand, if you start a business, who is going to be my competitors? Okay, so then after you get those steps taken care of, now I got to get a tight business plan. My business plan's got to be tight, because if I'm going to get investors, they're going to have to believe in a strategy, and you have to show them how you're going to bring them return on their investment. For me, when I announced HIV 21 years ago, some of the guys in the NBA did not want to play against me. So instead of getting upset, I decided to educate them about that you can play against a player with HIV and not worry about it. And since I was able to do that, I was able to stop the discrimination against people who are living with HIV or who are doing anything. So what I want you to take away from here today, make sure that you work with everybody, no matter what color they are, no matter if they look different than you, no matter if... Because discrimination is not cool. That's not a cool thing, okay? Can we do that? I'm a big believer in, if you don't dream it, you can't become it. I mean, look where you're sitting. You've done a wonderful job, and you remain a good man too, with all the success that you've had and your family has had. And just like myself, you had the dream that you could be something in life and do something in life. And so I was a big dreamer. Well, our first training camp, and Coach McKinney really put us in a great position. And I learned so much. I got to give Norm Nixon a lot of credit, and Jamal Wilkes and Kareem, because I was a rookie trying to learn. So they taught me a lot, took me aside. Norm and I really bonded well. And then I got to give, Jerry West, Chick Hearn. People don't remember this, that Chick Hearn was the assistant general manager at that time. And Jack Kent Cook, thank him for selling the team to Dr. Bus. And so, Bill Sharman helped me out so much as well with my free throws, and also just giving me great knowledge of the game. But those guys took me up under their wing, and Jim, I just was so hungry to win. I was so used to winning. I won the state championship with my high school team, and then the national championship with Michigan State. So I just wanted to come here. So at 15 years old, that's when I got my nickname, Magic. Well, I led that school to the state title. We won. I had to make a big decision. Where would I go to college? Because everybody in America were recruiting me. I decided to stay home and go to Michigan State. Oh yeah, all right, go green, go white. I'm a guy who goes all the way in. And I love doing what I'm doing, but basketball prepared me for the business room, no question about it. You know, if it wasn't for basketball, I don't think I could be the CEO that I am today.
What would be your top piece of advice for them?
Well, first of all, you gotta take your ego out of it. See, what made me a great basketball player wouldn't make me a great CEO. I have to understand, because I didn't know business. So that's why those mentors were so important to me. And then somebody finally is gonna say no to you. You have to have a thirst for knowledge. And so that's why I was meeting with so many people, because I was hungry for knowledge. And I wasn't shy about asking questions. The biggest reason that I'm here is because of you making me go to that gym every summer. Not only staying for 4 hours, but I figured I better stay for 6, because I knew you were there about 5 or 6 yourself. It was tremendous playing against you, and I'm just happy, and I thank God that I got to know you, not as just Larry Bird, the basketball player, but Larry Bird. Appreciate you coming out here. Keep your overhead low when you first start in a business. Staffing can kill your business, because you overstaff. That means a lot of money is going out the door. So make sure that your overhead, you keep it low and tight.
We are so blessed that you're gonna get to affect change in somebody else's life. That's the coolest thing, when you can affect change and you can change somebody and make them better. When I played basketball for the Lakers, I tried. And we won those 5 championships. The reason we won those championships is I tried to make my teammates better and they tried to make me better. And that's what we're asking you to do today. Make your school better. Make your community better. Make your neighborhood better. That's what a leader does. So we want you to go out and make sure you're making everybody better when you leave here, including yourself.
It's not enough for us just to deliver anymore. We got to over-deliver. If you want to keep all the billions of customers you have, and hundreds of millions of customers you have to over-deliver to them. My father worked for General Motors for 30 years.
Yep.
And I really took a lot from him, because he worked 30 years and won an award after he retired for never being late and never missing a day in 30 years.
Wow, in 30 years.
In 30 years. And then my mother worked for the school cafeteria.
And did your parents ever talk about the financial situation you guys were in or going through, or what they wanted for you guys financially, or anything like that?
As a kid, you really didn't know you were poor. You just, everybody was the same. So my father really, I would say he really helped me understand money, because he worked not only at General Motors, he also had a trash hauling service.
Oh, wow.
So we picked up people's trash.
So he was an entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah.
So that was your first time you seen what an entrepreneur.
Exactly. My dad was hustling, and then in the summer I worked on a truck every single day, but Sunday. He was hustling, so it made me have a hustler's mentality too, because I seen him do it. Now, I think what happened for me was truly a blessing, because Lansing is a small town. So I got a chance to see 2 men who looked like me, who were black. And they were entrepreneurs, owned buildings, owned multiple companies. And so one day I got bold and I asked them for a job. And so they said, all right, come on. They own so many buildings. They said, this is going to be your building that you have to clean. From Friday after 5 o'clock to Sunday, you clean this building and we'll pay you.
Very important. Now, the coolest kid and the coolest young person is the one who loves themselves. Not what kind of clothes you wear, not what kind of sneakers you got on, or how much you pay for the clothes or the sneakers, you make the clothes themselves, you make them cool. The clothes don't make you cool, you make them cool.
The most important thing in business is you have to know your customer, and then you have to speak to that customer. I didn't think it was going to get to this level. I never thought in my wildest dreams it would get to where I am today, but I knew I wanted to be a businessman, and I was going to do everything in my power to become a successful one. And then I was the reason why we lost. You know, when I think about, I always excelled in big moments, and especially in the playoffs, championship series. And that was the first time, Jim, I just didn't play well at all, and I didn't make good decisions. I remember the headline, Tragic Magic, and I'll never forget that. And I cried that whole summer. Right? I was so hurt, disappointed, because the Lakers had lost to the Celtics every time before '84, and now we're 0-8. And we helped, that last loss. It helped them to think that they could just manhandle us and think that we could never beat them. And so I was just so disappointed, and losing to Larry Bird at the same time. So I worked on my game, I got better, and I was so happy that God blessed us to be able to play them again in '85. And we had to beat them, and we beat them on their home court, and that made it really good.
And the thing that I want you to do from here today is start a club within your school or your community. The best young people I know are the ones who are giving back to somebody who is less fortunate than yourself. That's what We Day is all about. That's what Feed the Children are all about. We make life better for those who are less fortunate than ourselves. Can you do that, Vancouver? So remember, it's not what you can acquire or get yourself, but it's how many people that you can help acquire food, clothes, things of that nature. Because we're gonna be okay, but there's a lot of people out there that are less fortunate than ourselves that we have to help them, either feed them, clothe them, or just send them money so that they can live every single day, because our parents are gonna bless us to live every single day. So we gotta reach back and give back to those who are less fortunate. Can we do that?
Yeah, well, I think, for me, I believe in the Lord and God, so, Cookie and I prayed a lot, and I've always been a person who met every challenge, right? I like challenges. And so I was able to understand my customer base and over-deliver to them. And I'm gonna use that word all the time. And you students out there, I want you to write that word down. And that's over-deliver. Because if you're gonna be in business, and especially today's marketplace, you gotta over-deliver to the consumer. Or guess what? They're gonna leave you that fast. 7 floors. So I used to, go 1 through 6, and I get to the 7th floor. That's where the CEO's office was.
Yeah.
And man, I would bust in the door like I was the CEO.
Like you own the joint.
I'm pretending like I'm the man, right?
Yeah.
And so I would go, recline his seat, put my feet up like that on the desk, hit the intercom button, pretend I had an assistant out front. Bring me the coffee and donuts, Elisa. And here I am in this office for hours, dreaming that I was a CEO.
How old were you at the time?
16 years old.
Unbelievable.
And you know what's crazy? And I tell this to young people all the time. If you don't dream it, you can't become it. I said, I'm dreaming like I'm the CEO. And who would have ever thought I've been blessed? And here I am the CEO of my own company. And, what a blessing. And so, but I think back to those moments, and those moments helped me to get to where I am today.
Thank you, Dean Sloaner. Appreciate that. Hi. I'm so happy to be here.
Let's jump right in.
Yeah, well, first, I just met Coach, and he's a cool dude, too. And both Coach Dawkins, all my guys, Coach Shaw, I love those guys. We should clap. You got great coaches here. The same principles really apply from being a basketball player as well as a CEO. When you think about focus, strategy, discipline, so I'm still that same guy that has those same principles as a CEO. And what I was doing as a basketball player first, and also a competitor, because I hate to lose at anything.
Because there were a lot of people who laughed at you when you told them you wanted to be a big businessman. But now they want to work for you and with you.
Yes, it's great when you can have people call you, want to work with you, want to work for you. And I got, again, when you think about, right here, the Dodgers are in first place. Our soccer team is in first place, LAFC. So, the teams are playing great, the Sparks. But Jim, they had to know I was serious first. Once they saw that I was serious, then they said, okay, all right, this guy is serious about being a businessman. He'll do whatever it takes to be successful. Every morning I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm ready to go. I call back east, I work out, and then I'm in the office all day. So I took that work ethic from a Dr. Buss, from all the different people who helped me along the way. And so, again, I'm successful because I got a great team. So I got to give them a lot of credit at MJE. And then I work with and partner with a lot of great people too as well. And the number one thing that can take you down and your business down if you change your spending habits when you're successful, or you now have a new different outlook on life. Because if you start spending more money just because your business is successful, that business has to supplement your new lifestyle. And you're just going to take from that business and take from that business. And now what's going to happen is you're bleeding the business dry. So don't do that. Reinvest that money back into your business. Make it sure it continues to grow. Okay, let's have some fun. You got a mic here. You can ask questions while we traded Shaq or anything. Go ahead. And you got the weapons on. I see that.
Those are for you.
Okay.
So, first of all, thanks for being here, Magic.
My pleasure.
It's great to see you. And thank you for the junior hook in '87.
Oh.
Sorry, David. So my question for you is you talked a lot throughout your career about the importance of a really good competitor. And Larry, I know the other Larry, was key to your success and just sort of following him, measuring your game against his. And I guess my question for you is like, right now in business, how do you measure your success against your competitors? Are there competitors who sort of inspire you to be better?
Well, I think that when you look at us, and we're in a real unique situation because at the end of the day, we have the #1 urban brand in America. And so we only have competitors in certain segments of our business, but not overall. It's hard to do everything that we do. And it's just like it's hard for Google competitor to do everything that you do. But I'm not really concerned about our competitors as much as I'm concerned about us, the Magic Johnson brand. Because if we do everything we're supposed to do, we'll take care of our business, then we don't have to worry about them. Now, do we know them? Yes. Do we watch them? Yes. But only in certain segments, because everybody's not in retail like we are. Everybody's not in funds like we are, the real estate fund and the equity fund that we have. Everybody don't have a foundation, so it's so many things that we do. It's hard for us to say we've got one unique competitor. but we have a competitor in a segment of our business. And so we gauged them, we watched them, but one thing that we always talk about is over-delivering. If we over-deliver to our clients and to the people who we represent, then we don't have to worry about it. We're going to be great, and we're going to always be number one. Because my whole thing, I'm so competitive that I just want to stay number one. Just like all of you want to stay number one. That's why you work here. It's a great brand, it's a great company. So you got to look at them, but you don't worry about them. Because if we take care of business, we're going to get retention. And that's what you got to strive for. Because people won't leave you. They will always be with you. Now, guess what? The income was there. So I said, that would be a great investment for me to make, because also there was no competition. So I started researching and said, okay, I'm gonna build theaters. Magic Johnson Theaters did a partnership because I really believe in partnerships. And I went to Sony and said, look, we should build movie theaters, because at that time, minorities were the number one group of people going to movies, but there was no theaters in our community. So we did that deal. It took off. We had some of the highest per caps in the industry. And then I took a trip up to Seattle and knocked on a guy's door named Howard Schultz, CEO and chairman of Starbucks. And I told him the growth of his business would be through urban America. And I said, you have one on every corner in suburban America, but black folks, we drink coffee too. So Howard said, we don't do franchisees. I said, I'm not here to be one. Dollar for dollar, what you put up, I put up. I have skin in the game, and I really trust in our business strategy. I've already proven that I can drive ROI through the theaters. I've always been a guy who thought and think outside the box. I never want to still stay inside that box.
Never let anybody define who you can become and who you are. They said, oh, Magic just a point guard. No. I was more than that. And now I'm proving it each and every day.
So I'm a guy who has made major investments, but at the same time, when I look at the Sodexo Magic investment, it has paid off dearly. So for me, when I look at deals, it's about, okay, is it gonna cash flow? What's the history of the performance of the asset? Who's managing that asset? Are they good? Are they great? Or are they poor? Because, that's going to really drive that performance of the asset. So if we take it over, maybe we got to get them out of there. So I'm betting every deal, making sure the next 5 years, that asset can really perform very well. So then, after both my funds have performed very well, I sold the Lakers, which Dr. Bus let me invest. He said, Earvin, if you write a $10 million check, I'll let you into the Lakers. And at that time, the Lakers were moving up strong. I said, oh, yes, I'll write the check. And sure enough, what a great investment. So I exited the Lakers and Starbucks at the same time. And who would have ever thought the Dodgers would be for sale?
Brand is everything to me. And so I got to make sure that the thing that I protect is the brand. See, I have everything else. Sustainability, I have growth, I have all that now, right? But the one thing that could ruin it all is a tainted brand, a diluted brand. And so I want to make sure that I protect that brand. And that's why I hire people like Ryan, who can not only protect the brand, but grow the brand. and the bottom line all at the same time.
Thank you, love you too. In this building, we got 20,000 amazing young leaders. 20,000 amazing young leaders. And when you're a leader and you see somebody getting bullied or mistreated, a leader steps in and stops that. And they defend that person who is getting bullied. That's important that you take this away today. Let's stop the bullying and let's hug and support people and high-five them instead of bringing them down. Very important.
I fight against discrimination, against those who are living with HIV. I go out and educate people, and that's what I do. This is my life. And so I love what I do. I love, going out, talking about HIV and AIDS, and also helping people.
Sure that you get a lot of life lessons, not just a lesson in terms of in school, but also the lessons outside of school. Because young people who make the best grades, but also have great common sense are the ones who are well-rounded, and that's what you are here, well-rounded.
We returned our partners 30% on their money. They were very happy. So how long you think it took me to raise $600 million after we returned them 30% on their money? Almost less than a year. We raised $600 million. We just returned them about 18 to 20% on their money. Very happy. And then before the market crashed, knock on wood, we just raised $1 billion in cash, and we're ready to go out and invest. But we're still holding on because we're getting a lot of investments that we can buy under market value. And so we're happy about we're able to have that type of cash on hand to buy different real estate projects. So it's called the Canyon Johnson Fund, and we're very excited about that. And then my other fund is called the Kaipo Johnson Fund. We have about $550 million in cash ready to buy urban-based businesses or businesses that have over 50% minorities working. So, you got to move on, and I got some things I got to do, And so I'm gonna do those things and make the world better, make Los Angeles better, make South Central better, East LA better, on and on and on, Compton better, and also send some kids to college and help them understand education can change their life. And so put people to work, and so through my company. So that's, I have a purpose, and so I'm gonna live out that purpose. And I just, God has been so good to me. I mean, He didn't have to keep me for 28 years with HIV. He didn't have to do that. But He said, I'm gonna keep you because I got some things for you to do. So I'm doing the Lord's work, and I'm happy to do that. And so I want to thank everybody who, back then said prayers, today said prayers for me, also high-fived me and embraced me. This city, again, I say this, and I mean it too, this city has loved magic, and I've tried to love it back. And so this is my city, and I will continue to do all that I can to continue to make it better. And so, Jim, this is outstanding, because I didn't want to do an interview with anybody else but you, because of our long history, our friendship, but also you see me as a kid come in here, and it's funny, then I was a kid, now I'm a man, and so this is great to just sit here with you and reminisce in this great building and some of the things we used to do. And I remember I was people know this about me, I'm a big Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 fan. And I remember I told him, I said, you got to come to a game. Now, I've been on tour with you twice. You got to come to a game. And I remember him sitting right over there. And he said, man, they're probably not going to let me watch the game, but you got to come, still come. And he came, and that was one of the biggest thrills of my life, to see Michael Jackson sit here watching the Lakers.